Hey, what's up? I'm Matt. Film study. Mississippi State loses at South Carolina by 7, 37-30. Some good. Offense seemed to get a little footing in the game. Some bad. Can't give up 37 points really anywhere to anybody and expect to win the game, much less give up 37 on the road in the SEC and expect to win the game. All of my content here on the channel is made possible by the fine folks at Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance, the local Farm Bureau insurance agents in all 82 counties in the great state of Mississippi. I want to get to it. I don't want to waste your time, but a couple of things first. State had a little bit of a problem on some first downs. They had far too many times where they were kind of going backward on first down, not able to accumulate a ton of yards on first down, certainly not able to rush for very many yards on first down. And so that sort of hurt throughout the ballgame, especially late. Now, that said, the explosive plays kind of made up for some of that, and they were okay on third down at times in the ballgame. And what you're going to see, South Carolina's defense came into the game focused on Woody Marks, number 7, the running back for State. He was the leading rusher, I think, in the league through 3 games coming in. And so their deal was focus on him. Do not let him beat us. However many people we need to put in the box, however we got to play on the line of scrimmage, be aggressive, play the run, and if they beat us throwing a ball, we'll shake their hand after the game. State almost did it. All right, this is the first play of the ball game, and it's a run play, and it's a little bit of a sign of things to come in a run game. You got left tackle Dollar Bill right here, who seems to be a little confused as to who to block on the snap. Lets the end come inside, but then turns around back to get him as almost like, I don't know what it is, maybe like an uh-oh moment or something. And so there's nowhere to go play side. And part of the reason Nick Jones, a guard, gets knocked back is because he's hitting 2 guys right here, the tackle and the end. And so it's just a little bit too much beef. He kind of gets knocked back into the run lane. There's nowhere to go, and there's no cutback because the linebacker has stepped up. And I'll show you this as well. But you got Goody, the tight end, who's going backside. He winds up coming backside and picking up the end right here. And effectively, the scheme calls for the tackle and the guard on the right to combo off this defensive tackle up to this linebacker. Problem is, they come down, Goody goes outside, hits him, but the linebacker goes outside. Okay, so they can't combo up to him. So he's sitting back here in a cutback lane. The end slips through the gap. Dollar Bill kind of doesn't, I don't know if he knows like who he's supposed to block or what, but he lets him through. So you get one here, another here on play side, and then one on the back side, and it's just blown up on first down. And it's just kind of an example. There was a lot of this in this game as well, in the run game, particularly on first down, a couple of first down plays. Then you come back on this first drive, you get 3rd and 7, and hit a big ball here to Tulu. And there's so many good things on this play that it also was a sign of things that come in the game. They bring 6, you get man free, make the throw. If you put too much air under it, it's going to get batted away, tip, pick, but you put the right amount of air and just hit him. Of course, it's a great route. I mean, Tulu's he is such a weapon. And, you know, anybody that's going to bump man him is going to have a hard time by themselves. He is such a weapon here. And so he beats him on the route. I was looking at a couple of things that are interesting about the play. The design, first of all, let's look at the front. You got 3 with your hands down, a 4th walked up. So you got a 4-man front, 2 others. They're all coming. So that's 6 who are going to come right here in the middle. And your coverage is man to man everywhere. Man-free, really clearly man-free coverage, and giving him like a come-after-you look in the front, bringing 6. So whether it's 3-3-5 personnel or whether it's like 4-2, I don't know. Looks like, 3-3-5 nickel personnel right here, and they got all 6 coming. And so the route, it's a pick. Harmon's going out to pick for Xavier coming across the middle right here. When that linebacker runs, I mean, this is wide open. The truth about it is, Will had 2 guys wide open, okay, Tulu and Xavier. And if he chooses to go Tulu, he hits it. I think if he chooses to come underneath here, you'll see the Xavier, he catches it, and he probably runs as far as the play wound up being right here. So it's just the right call for what you get. You see what I mean right here? you go pick route, you totally get it. If he just drops it down here to Xavion, he's going to catch it and run a long time. But went for the big ball. The other thing that made it work, watch Will Rogers is really an experienced quarterback right here, doing something that you have to do if you want to make this play work. So this safety is in center field here off the screen, and you're going to see Will catch the snap and drop and keep his eyes on the safety for as long as he can before he turns and throws. He knows what he's got one-on-one in the hash. Look at his eyes. See, he doesn't immediately go up here and start watching, the coverage. What Will's doing is he's putting his eyes on the safety, watching him, staring him down, making sure that he stays somewhere here in the middle of the field, kind of holding him with your eyes because he already knows I'm getting one-on-one out here, knows he's got the hitch, and sees the man. So he holds his eyes there as long as he can, now turned at about the time he's going to let the ball go. Here's the other thing, and like I said, you had to put it on a rope because the safety is reacting really well. If you put air under it, it's got to be way outside. You're going to run him on the sideline. It's a harder catch because, any air whatsoever hangs in the air longer, and this guy's got a chance to come over and make a play. So I just thought it was the right decision to drill it. And Tulu did a really nice job all night and just shows you he has a net. He knows I'm going to shut this down right here and make sure I catch this ball and I'm not running into this safety. Really good job. The protection, too, was really good. I know I'm taking a lot of time on this play, but I was impressed with Cam Jones right here, the tackle. You're going to see him do a really nice job of handing the end off to the guard because he comes inside, hand him off and pick up the edge rusher. So watch Cam Jones right here. Punch him, and now I'm out. Really nice job right there. It's also a nice job by the center, Cole Smith, and the right guard, Lasoya, in picking up that handoff. Watch them. They get the shade nose, and, you're one-on-one back here. Nick Jones is doing a nice job. He's doing a nice job. Woody's right where he's supposed to be, 6-man, picking up that linebacker coming. So you get 3-on-3 right there. You get Woody in the middle. You get 2-on-2 back here, and now I can stand in here and throw this football. That's excellent protection. First drive of the game, 3rd down, and it's a statement maker right there. This is a pretty good look at the protection. See Cam Jones, he goes inside, right? Goes inside, pass him off. I got outside. Lasoya picks him up. Center's back. We pick it up, 3-on-3. You're one-on-one, got to win, but you're one-on-one, and now Woody, experienced back, stepping in here on the linebacker. And that's the way you protect with 6 versus a 6-man rush and throw the man-to-man. Let's go back and look one more time at the eyes of the quarterback. Watch Will. It's really clear who he's and what he's looking at. Knows what he wants right now. Staring right at you. You better stay where you are. I'm not giving you any hints on where I'm throwing this football. And now flip and throw. That is textbook. There's the route. Stumbled a little bit. That helped him. But even if he doesn't stumble, he's going to run by him. All right, this is their first 3rd down situation down here on their own end of the field before they went on a long play for a score. Show you how they convert it. If I back it up here, this kind of gives you a little bit of a look at what State's got defensively, and that is, 2 safeties back here, but really, one over, the ball on the hash, one kind of off the hash, but it is 2 sort of like safeties in the middle, and you notice soft cushion here at corner. Both those guys run back, and typically you get a safety in the middle of the field, and then corners that are playing like they have deep responsibility. That's a cover 3. And normally that other safety is going to be involved somewhere in underneath coverage. Now, whether he stays back here just because of the position of the field, I don't know. But it's more like it's like cover 3 with an extra high safety. State's only going to rush 4, 2 linemen, and these 2 linebackers, John Lewis and Bookie, and JP Purvis is going to pull out of here and underneath coverage, into the boundary. And everybody else is dropping as well. Okay, so I know it's a little bit confusing, but it's a 4-man rush versus 6-man protection because their back is staying in, and their tight end is going to run this route over the middle of the field right here. So watch the play. You see the coverage drop. It's zone, 4-man rush, and then you just give up that throw in the middle. And this was sort of a theme in the LSU game as well. is on some third down situations, some others as well, you're trying to do some different things on the front, like only 2 with their hand down, 3 standing up. It's really only 2 linemen in the game, right? And using linebackers to try to get pressure in the middle and affect the quarterback that way. But the coverage and the drop sort of vacates the middle of the field. So whether it's a back checking and getting in there, or in this case, the tight end releasing and getting there, this middle of the field is just totally void of any underneath coverage, and you really don't have any chance of stopping the play except a linebacker getting through. And John Lewis right here, I thought, does a good job of attacking the offensive guard, and then the back helps him. And you'd love to see a little bit more drive, stay on your feet, maybe spin out of this if you watch him. He attacks him really nicely and get a little penetration, but right here, get free, spin off of it, affect the quarterback, get him off of his spot if you can right there, And it's hard to spin when they got hands on you, I know. I mean, it's kind of wishful thinking. And the other thing, too, is from a technique, he's trying to give him a step right here to get back to the inside with some aggressiveness, and that's not bad. But you don't really want to lose your footing either. If you look at John here, it's a little bit of a lunge, and here you kind of got both feet off the ground where you don't really have any power. So it's still not bad. It's really aggressive, and he has the ability to do that. Their center really sets up the protection here for them by really standing up the nose. I think this is Crumedy on this play, maybe. I think it is. Yeah, I think it's Crumedy. So, see, when he stands him up, Crumedy's trying to cross his face and drive into this gap to make room for Buki Watson on the pressure as well in the middle. So you want 2 linebackers up to shoot. But because he gets sort of stood up right here, it holds Buki up. He doesn't. He kind of has to retreat and wait, and he gets tripped up, and that sort of. See, there's, so you don't get a real full-on fire-breathing pass rush usually. He's got plenty of time to stand in there, 4-man rush. And there you see the tight end. Again, flat responsibility. Corners are dropping soft, to the field. And Jet and Banks, your linebacker and the dime package are all, dropping soft to the field. So it just leaves him there in the middle of the field, uncovered basically, right at the first down stick, and that's just too easy. And again, you see the safety is the first to get there, Washington, and with others dropping. Now again, you can see the coverage once the ball's thrown. You're here with Banks, you're here with Richardson, you're deep here with the safety, and you had the corner dropping on that side. So, if you're the underneath zone on this hash, you got to see that tight end off the line and go attack him and turn it into man coverage. That's a little bit late. Give up the underneath throw, and it's an easy first down. This is a scoring play for them. It was 3rd down here, and it turned into a throw and run on an underneath crossing route against man-to-man, 5-man rush versus 6-man protect. And then he outruns everybody in the stadium and capable of doing that to the house. So a couple things happen here. The obvious is in the coverage, you do have man-to-man coverage here with a safety in the middle. So this is man coverage, and there's your free safety. That's man free. And you'll see that, once you get the completion underneath, the safety who's here takes a really vertical angle downfield and then has to try to turn and run with him, which you're not going to do, as opposed to the anticipation of, okay, they've got the first down and then some. I got to take an angle to make sure I get over here and cut this off with help coming so that we can make sure it's just not a touchdown. We stop him in here somewhere. So that'll be the first thing. See, he's backpedal middle of the field, glances, and now look at the angle. He's coming right side of your screen. See? So his first few steps are straight downhill, and you're just going to get, it's too steep of an angle. You're going to get run by, and that's what happens right there. See that? And so, it's an experience deal of really fast player. He catches it here. Where's the help? The only help you have is here on this side, so you got to make sure you're here. Make him either stop or cut back or get on his outside shoulder somehow to run him into some help, but you can't stay underneath because he's to the house. The other thing that I notice here, one is, ball not thrown yet. And right here, I think you've got a receiver getting tripped. And so it winds up looking like he's blocking downfield. See that? So, technically, that should be not be happening. It's a penalty to be that far downfield blocking like this with quarterback in the pocket. Let's see when it's thrown. Yeah, he's blocking before it's thrown. So I guess it's fine there, right? But now it's not. That's a rule I probably don't understand that much. But it's not intentional. He trips right here over the foot of Nicholson. Okay, you see it? The receiver tripping, and then it looks like he's blocking downfield. But the trips up DeCarlos Nicholson a little bit too. So it's unfortunate they click their heels and watch Nicholson. It kind of slows him up right there, and now he's trying to play catch up. Last thing I'll point out on the play, they have, so here's your 5 linemen, and the 6th blocker is the running back staying in. It looks like State, brings everybody on the front, that's 4, and 2 linebackers. But it's not exactly what they do. At first, you're going to see all 6. Here they come. But then there's Pickering dropping out. He's the underneath to take away that cross in the throwing lane. And the reason you're doing that is, you'd love for the guy not to see him and throw it right to Pickering. He's going to drop sort of as this robber underneath. But if you can get him to hold the ball another second or two, it's just another second or two for somebody to get there and make a play. Drops in the lane, and he just waits right until he passes Pickering, and now he's out of the play. The last thing, the rush is designed, you're attacking the guard with one linebacker, see who he picks up. Same gap with another linebacker. Here comes the back. And I thought right here, Buki Watson did a really nice job of attacking the running back and driving him back. Watch him. And he's just about to get there and make a play. And so this is on quarterback right here. Running back's coming back into my lap. Find the throwing lane, don't get it batted down. Wait for him to clear this defender who's dropped. Hit it where it's on a dead run. No accuracy issues where he has to check up. He can catch it without even breaking stride, and here we go. So that's how it happens. So you'll see it here. Jet attacks the guard. Buki comes around, same deal. Back steps over to get him, and it's a pretty physical deal here. Boom, driving back. I'm not sure why. I don't know. It could just be a personal thing why Buki would go in here with his left shoulder as opposed to his right here on this side. I don't know. But he does drive him back to him, and quarterback stands in there and makes an accurate throw. Here is a escape and throw by the quarterback back in here to the end zone for a touchdown. It's an example of how sometimes some little things can affect a play in a big way. Able to get to the edge pretty easily. Chased, but makes a nice throw on a run to a receiver that came from the backside. This is what I mean by little things. State, 3 down. Here are your 3 linebackers, 3-3, 5 nickel. And this is a freshman, Isaac Smith, who is a safety coming from the next level and to come off the edge on the outside, bring a safety blitz. Not quite from center field, but close. But right here chooses to go inside of the tackle. And it's one of those deals of kind of understanding the scheme where, yes, you want to try to get to the QB and you're thinking, I've got the tackle set up outside, so I'm going to, shoot this gap. The deal is understanding the scheme is if you're going to get there, it's got to be outside with a little contain, because by going inside, it just completely opens up the escape for the quarterback. You see, within the pass rush scheme, you are the edge defender and the contain on this blitz, so you have to be outside on the outside edge of the tackle. And just because he's where he's supposed to be, the tackle, it doesn't mean that you have then the right to kind of go where you want to go. So you got to stay outside when you're on that safety blitz, force him to step up and decide what to do. They're trying to get a back out, which they are. They're going to get a back out underneath here. He might dump it here. They're trying to cross these guys in the middle of the field and cross up your safeties. He's probably not getting back here anyway because that's covered. So, you could have forced a throw from the pocket, maybe make a tackle instead of giving up a touchdown, but because of just go one gap over and it can let the quarterback escape. All right, here's a Go ball across the field, touchdown for State on 2nd and 10, the first touchdown of the game. Big throw down the field, tight end stays in, the back checks, get just enough time on a one-on-one, throw it up the field, score and walk it in the end zone. So a couple things is when the defense comes into the ball game, focusing on a running back. Woody Marks, over 100 a game. I think that might have led the SEC even through 3 games coming in, and it was obvious that from their scheme and design standpoint that these, front 7, front 6 guys are going to key on him all night long, run and pass. And show you an example of that here. So what it nets you is they're going to play some man-to-man, which they are here. And in this case, too, it even helps you that they've got a corner blitz on, so the man-to-man on this side gets run out of there because you get an out route here on the back side. And so it just put Tulu one-on-one up the middle of the field with a guy chasing underneath. So basically what it requires is protection enough to throw it down the field and or have time to pump it down the field, right? So let's look at protection. First of all, you're going to play fake to Woody on this side. And so if you look, like one of the safeties that's most affected right here by it on the play, watch this safety on the play fake right here. Just keep your eyes on him and watch him step up. That's all it takes, a step or two. So play fake, see that? And once the fake's made, he steps in. Now, I believe that in their call, they are going to use him in a man-to-man responsibility with this tight end. That's what I think on the call. That's the way it just looks to me. And when the tight end stays in after the run fake, he step down. Now you don't have anybody to turn and play the middle of the field right here. The run fake basically has gotten him, and you're going to have to depend on your rush to get to the quarterback. And they can't get there, see. Good design on the route, too. So a tight end is staying in to help, and it looks like the back is checking also. So what is South Carolina doing? Well, one, it's a 4-man rush, and I don't know if they've got a twist call, but this is kind of what it looks like. And it's not necessarily great technique right here, because in a pass set deal, you're kind of lunging right here at right tackle and letting him to the inside. So you kind of hook him. You're fortunate, you don't get a cheap call from an official. But because of that, he's the only one really who has missed, and he's the only one free to the quarterback that Will's got to step into and throw the football. It's a brave throw. I love it because you got to stand in there feeling like, if you're a quarterback, that red jersey's really clear. And you got to make an accurate throw knowing you're about to get popped, and he does. And he had to watch it from the ground. That's just a miss right tackle. But everything else there is pretty good. You get one-on-one guard and guard, Lasoya. You get a combo on the nose, left guard center. Backside tackle does a nice job. And one thing I noticed is the tight end does a good job checking in the middle. Linebackers don't come in the middle, so then he turns to the outside, and had it gotten over here to the Cobra, he's going to be in position to pick him up. So look at those things in the protection. You see that? Goody checking over. That's going to be fine. You only have one miss. The other thing that was interesting to me on this play is it's almost, I don't know if they did this intentionally or if this was an accident or one of those guys, getting the wrong call, but they both are keying on Woody Marks. So in a man-to-man sort of deal, again, which is what they have called here with this Cobra Blitz, safety would have the tight end, somebody's going to have the back. Well, in this case, when you see him check and release, you're going to notice both linebackers go with Woody. So I don't know if they called that or if they both got, one of them's not doing what they're supposed to do, but they both go with Woody out of the backfield. Step into it, and there's your throw. And that's how they come together. You get those shots down the field because they are keying on your run game. Okay, get a look at it here from up top. Run fake, safety is affected. Corner blitz, you get an out route into the boundary. So in the scheme, he jumps on it. He got drawn up. He's one-on-one. He thinks he's got a little help, so he positions himself on the outside, and you just run right away from it. So really nice design, executed perfectly. The play fake works. It takes the protection to get it done, and you had it on that particular play. All right, so this is 3rd and 5, and State's going to, again, bring that what is 5-man pressure, looks like 6, but you're dropping Pickering underneath like we saw a while ago, and playing man-to-man on the receivers with a free safety in the middle of the field. And he's more split in the field here with the ball right over there on the right hash. So here comes the 6. The 6 drops out. It's just 5. You flush him, and that's the one that winds up getting him. So good reaction by Pickering right there. We'll look at a couple different angles. As far as routes, it's a combination of coverage and pressure. So tight end releases, in breaking, gets pretty well covered in man-to-man. Push up here on the corner, in break, pretty well covered in man-to-man. Right here, hitching up past the sticks, covered. And I don't know if it's go or out on the backside because I can't really see the picture. But coverage is tight. So look at coverage. That's one thing. Like, he's not hitting his back foot going to throw on 3rd and 5, partly because you're covered here. That's where he wants to go, middle of the field. It was good to him earlier. He's got it here, but it's not bad coverage at all. You're pretty tight here, and he can't get it out. But he's also going to be affected by this rush. And here's what's happening. You'll get Crumity taking on the center. So it sets up kind of a 3-on-3 on this side. And as I mentioned, Pickering's going to drop. So when that happens on the end of the boundary, Jet comes and takes on the guard and does a really nice job of affecting him and pushing him out. Okay, so kind of clearing this gap almost with a little pressure of his own. You see this? And again, this is something that quarterbacks are going to feel this. He's swimming through the guard on the outside right here. So one, pressure there. Another is Watson taking on a running back, and again, just like earlier, just steadily driving him back right into the lap of the quarterback. He can feel it closing on him. And the other thing is Jordan Davis taking the left tackle back in there and pinching this pocket. You're not going around creating lanes. You're going through people right here. Now, one thing you can see, it's a pretty clear hold. He pulls his shoulder pads off right here. Left hand official can't see it. But we're also at the same time, you're lucky that another official doesn't see hands to the face or think it is hands to the face. So really it's probably ultimately a good no call. But the pressure initially by Jet, this makes him really uncomfortable. You're that close to an opposite jersey. I don't have anywhere to go as a linebacker on a running back. And then backside right here, it's getting pinched. I got to get out of here. And what has happened is because you rushed 5 and dropped Pickering right here, as soon as a little escape happens with his eyes downfield, he's got a clear shot at him, and he comes in and does a cleaning up. So it's a combination of coverage and pressure, pinching a pocket there on 3rd down. Good look at it here. Jet in the middle of your screen, drive the guard, sets up Watson, takes him on right shoulder. And if you have a coverage bust right here, he's going to let this go and throw it in the middle of the field. It's obvious that's the matchup or the throw he wanted. And when he doesn't get it, now here goes the pocket. It's milliseconds. I got to make a decision, maybe run, nowhere to go the backside because Pickering dropped. If you rush 6 and he escapes right here, he's running and makes a 1st down. But you rush 5 with the dropper and you get him. Yeah, you can see again, it's happening fast, but he's got his shoulder pads coming off. So, maybe a hold, maybe not. Regardless, you get the stop on 3rd down. Good job by Jordan Davis. You hear me say this a lot because you see it a lot. But again, it's a 4-man defensive front and an alignment and responsibilities that say we're really going to focus on Woody Marks. We're not going to zone, let you get it to him. We're not going to just rush 4 and let you run the ball on us here on 2nd and 10. They're bringing pressure and playing man free on 2nd and 10 out here in the field with the ball on the right hash. And what it gets you is a one-on-one in the slot with a safety way off the screen, an easy underneath completion, and turn on the Jets. He's so dangerous with the ball after the catch. It's a super smart move here. Tulu is he's got a sense for knowing, he's not just trying to catch the ball. A lot of guys are just trying to catch it. I'm open. I just want to catch the thing. This is a guy who he knows already. I'm going to stick this foot. I'm going to time it just right where my momentum's already back outside before he even realizes I've caught the football. He knows what he's going to do on the way there. Catch it, I'm gone. DB has no chance. That's just so good. But again, you get this opportunity. Why? they've shown, this is second quarter, they've shown the entire first quarter, we will focus on the run. We will get involved here and we will play man-to-man because we want somebody else beating us other than Woody Marks. So it's already given you deep ball opportunities one-on-one. Well, now on this play, it's giving you soft cushion one-on-one with a safety that's so far off the screen you can't see him because we don't want to give up another go ball touchdown in the same look. And so they're respecting him. So what do? Read it, either call it or read it, throw a hitch, and beat him to the outside. So in the man-to-man responsibility, you can see it. They've got 4, they've got a 5th. Okay, so it's 5-on-5 in your protection. But the deal is this linebacker's responsibility is Woody Marks. So even in a pass deal, we can't flip it to him, get him going out in the open field. They want the ball going to somebody else. And the ball's gone quick enough there on the throw that the protection is just, it's null and void. They don't have time to get there anyway. I mean, look how good this is. Look how good this is. Catch, spin, gone. Quicker, faster. 32 rushing yards in the game for State, and that was really the only sore spot offensively, was that even though they were really kind of focused on your run game, their defense, State unable to figure out ways to block them and run the ball. And unfortunately, for the second week in a row against an SEC defensive front, State's offensive line had some sort of missed assignments and MEs up front in the run game in particular. Here's an example of these first down runs. This is second quarter. You got 1st and 10 in the red zone. It's at the 15. You got momentum. You really need to pop this run down here. You're going weak side out of the pistol, out of everything's to the wide side of the field. 3 receivers, really 3 eligible receivers, but the tight end on that side too. So the strong part of the formation of the wide side, going to run it into the weak side of the field, try to catch them, but they have defended it, again, because they're focusing on him. But all that penetration and run through is the concern on a first down run. It's a pretty tough assignment given their defensive alignment, and I know that's a rhyme, sorry. But the first one is right tackle Cam Jones. You can see him right there, 58, having to go all the way in there to a guy who's kind of lined up, maybe head up of the left guard. He can't cut him off. You see that? So again, if you don't have a call, this is a pretty tough deal. This defensive tackle is effectively lined up between the guard and the center, and you're asking the tackle to get all the way over there to him and cut him off with this run going away from him right here. And then, so it's a pretty tough ask to begin with, but he just can't get there. It's a little bit of a, it's almost like you got to step laterally and get your right shoulder on him, get that head across and drive, but he has just shot the gap. He's almost in alignment. He's got an advantage shooting the gap. He's upfield. He's blowing this thing up right now. But he's not the only one, because you've got Cole Smith, center, who's trying to get back out to, a defensive tackle that's lined up on the outside shoulder of the guard again. So he's got to go a long way to get there. He gets there, but doesn't have any momentum. That kid's really pushing, fighting. And then on the outside, you got a new tackle in the game outside here who is stepping up. Show you. Lasoya does an okay job on the end, but he's stepping up on that outside guy who really kind of avoids him. And it's really, I say avoids him, but both here are soft playing these blocks to let them come and then jump to the outside to keep that thing from getting to the sideline. Why? Because they are contained, and it works. So effectively, all those reasons, you snap the ball and within a second, we got one who's 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. We got 2 who are 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. We got another who's 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. And, this unblocked end is supposed to be taken care of by the play action fake of the quarterback, and because he's got to have contain. But if you had a block here, if you had this pushed down, washed down, or let's just say stalemated or, shoved down the line with momentum, you got the chance for Woody to cut this thing back. But because of that one, there is no cutback. So it's an example. That's what this is, an example of the kinds of things that are happening to this front right now. Not always, but a little too often in the run game these last 2 ball games against SEC teams. Here's a 2nd and 9. And again, I really believe this is an example of a defense who all week has been ready to focus on so much on one player in this run game with Woody Marks, because they got 4 down, end up with 3 in there. So there's 7 that's playing the run, and they're playing a cover 3 zone, dropping this corner in a deep third. Safety's got a deep third. He's got a deep third. Other safety's kind of playing an underneath flat right here. And what it does is, because of all this attention right in here to the run game and a run fake that really isn't a run fake, they go the wrong way, it still allows Tulu Griffin to get to the next level and challenge deep. The safety has to make a decision, and the backside defender has to make a decision, and you get what you want. And protection held up too, because they weren't rushing all 6 of those or 7 of those guys. They're really only rushing 4, but keying on Woody Marks. And so there's a one-on-one up top, and you throw and catch, and that is a really fine throw. Showed a meme. Now, if we watch the play fake, if we watch the play fake right here, look, see, so Will's faking to his left. All right, Woody is faking to the right. Well, one of them got the wrong call here, but it's a doggone good thing that Woody is faking to his right, because the right guard, Lasoya just gets a swim move right here and almost doesn't touch 91. 91's free to the backfield with the quarterback with his back turned. So if Woody's not standing here, this right here is a dangerous deal, okay, for any play and for any quarterback. But because he's on that side, he steps in and helps right there. And now you can step up. Because you've had help, and Woody got knocked back, but he hit the right guy. He popped him. And because you've got help, you can step up. You got a nice combo here from Nick Jones and Cole on the nose. And it's an excellent job in one-on-one on the backside right here by Dollar Bill. Watch him. Hands down, get on top of him, lay on him. I'm not holding, both hands up. Great job. Excellent protection. Tight ends checking, so it's really 7-man protect, including the back, because the tight end's in there. And what I think you've got, again, is you had 3 like linebacker players that almost look like 4-3, old-fashioned 4-3. All 3 of them are watching this running back. They're playing a run. When he stays and he stays in, now they're freed up to try to come, but it's too late and you got help. But the biggest thing that they're doing is watching Woody Marks. So when they see him stay in, now he's trying to get out and cover, but it's way too late. And you're down the field on the route. If you were to go back, what State did against this, and again, cover 3 zone, is Justin Robinson pushed up across the field and crossed the face of the safety, draws his attention because that's his responsibility in here, deep third, so he stays. And Tulu pushes up against zone and crosses and comes over deep, and that pulls this corner running with him because this is his deep third. So the corner has to try to turn and leave Justin Robinson. It's off screen. Turn and run with Tulu. You get what you want. Pump it up to him. He recovered okay because he kept it from being a touchdown, but he was beat. And then I love this from Will Rogers and the offense. They've got the skier on them, got them on the move. They're trying to get a call. Get your play called quickly. Do not let them sub. Don't even let them get lined up. Quickly. It doesn't always work, but this is a good one after a big play. And pop that zone run right up in there for the score. Again, I think this play doesn't happen if Woody isn't going to the right, because he's the reason you get this off. Right there, bumps him. And otherwise, 91 is pressuring your quarterback, and you probably don't step up and throw this thing where you want to. Excellent throw. That is a big-time throw. First play of the second half. State's in man-to-man responsibilities right here. It's not drawing very good, but you get it. I think Buki's got the back. Man-to-man here. And our safety is going to go, so you got a man-free deal. Rushing 4, man free. Buki can get the back, and Jet can be the one who roams. So if the back stays in, it's going to turn into 5-man rush. If he leaves, I guess that would technically be his responsibility. And instead of previous plays where the linebackers came and you dropped Pickering at the underneath in the man, this time it's leaving Jet as the underneath, kind of roaming zone-ish defender with man. But none of it matters because you get a bump man up top, the fastest guy, and get a go ball. Protection is good, and he lets it go. And you play the ball right here. And this is okay. You are beat, okay, but you're in the vicinity to make a play by DeCarlos Nicholson, and it is good, to sense balls in the air. Sideline may be helping him, and he gets his head around, but he just can't find the ball right there. Misses. You look how close that. He literally misses batting his football away because it's a tad underthrown. He misses batting it away by inches. But the deal is, when you make this effort to bat it away and miss, you can't let it affect your catch-up ability or slow you up. And in this case, it does. He kind of has a little bit of a bobble step, and the receiver doesn't. And so that's just a lesson learned there, because he's a fast enough guy. Like, you can be with him and not catch him. You see how close he is. Does a nice job. Gets his head around. Again, sideline probably helps him. And that's how close it is. You are within about 4 inches of batting that thing away. Just miss it. He catches the underthrow, but you can't let the miss and the swing and miss affect your steps. Go ahead and be full speed through him right here, where if he does catch it, it's not a score. Easier said than done for sure. Okay, I like this play because you're putting a quarterback on the move, and on 3rd and 5, you got motion across. And so motioning Tulu across gives you this same look you've had in the game a good bit, which is to the tight end side, like an extra blocker with 3 receivers over here. It looks like 4 receivers, but only 3 are eligible. It's just that every skill player you've got is on this side of the field. Tight end, running back, and now all 3 receivers are going to be there. And what you've seen previously in the game is a couple times running the ball to the weak side, or trying to, right? And so in this case, you flip it on them. They are not, unbalanced, but they've got 2 of their defensive line with hands down to the weak side where you've run the ball. And when you go on motion, they're going to bring one down and bring him off the edge and then flow these guys into coverage and flip it. And so, in other words, they are concerned about the run here to the weak side. But on this case, we're going to roll and put everybody over here and complete one down the field. Does that make sense? So off of what has been kind of a weak run look a couple times, now you're going to roll and throw strong, and you get a completion on 3rd and 5. And it's a really good job by the offensive line. If you look at this, the way it all gets handled, 5-man protection, it's really more than that. It's really about 7-man, because to the play side in front of the running back, tight end, and running back are blocking out in front. But they turn this thing back really nicely, and with it rolling away, nobody slips through play side, and you can make the throw. The route, top receivers pushing up, and out there in that void, outside is up, and he's curling right here, trying to find throwing lane, and Tulu is out. He's in the flat. Now, I would imagine if you get man, his option is to probably run it up, but you got zone. He saw that and sitting right out there and eating the defender up, so the ball's got to come out in front of the deep defender who doesn't want to give up a go ball. It's got to be on time, and it is. Ran him off. Nice play call. Here is another big throw down the field to Tulu, and it's another example where, State's got the tight end in there, single back in the pistol, and they get a bunch of people in the box. So they start off with 6 in the box right here. That's your 6 right here at the line of scrimmage. But then on the fake, both safeties, when you get a play fake, both safeties are going to really look like they want to be active against the run. So you see all that happening. Jump on it. Protection's good. It's just a 4-man rush. I don't really know what the coverage is, but I know this is one heck of an accurate throw. Like, there's a little Kroger sack size. You gotta throw it in a Kroger sack out there at the 24-yard line. That's the one place you're going to complete it, and you put it right on. That's a heck of a throw. And the reason I said I didn't really know, I couldn't quite tell what the coverage was, is, pre-snap, this does look like man here. But I wouldn't say these necessarily do. And on the snap, both those guys flip their hips and try to use outside leverage to force things back inside, where you do have a couple of safeties that have lined up sort of, over the ball, but they're only, 8 yards deep? something like that, 8 to 9 yards deep, those two safeties. And again, on the snap, they are straight downhill looking at run. You can see that. They jump on the fake. So it's not like you're locking up in man right here. I just, I was a little confused as what the coverage is. Now, that said, when, he obviously goes across and gets behind him, one here does turn and run with him step for step. He's the one that's on his back hip when he catches the football. And then both these, I believe it's both these guys here, turn and get underneath it. And they're the ones that are trying to get there to the football too. But it's after they've sort of bitten on the fake. See this? When you turn right there, we get downhill. And this is what I'm talking about. It's a four-man front. They don't have any sort of blitz, but you have two linebackers in that box. There's 6. And now we got 7 and 8 that are all thinking, get him. Number 7, key on him. And what has it done? It's created another opportunity for you. What turns into, whether they had man called or not, what turns into a go ball type throw up the field. See it here. See what that coverage does? I mean, again, if it is man to man, that does look like a man to man technique. That really doesn't. And this, I don't know that it really does. But, maybe they're just, because, again, you don't have, it's not like you're bringing linebackers, right? So I'm not really sure what they're doing, to be honest with you. And also, to be honest with you, you've got 4 guys open against this coverage. He's open. If that's thrown on, if you chose him, it's open. If you chose him, it's open. If you come back to the dig, it's a big completion. If you throw that one, turns out he's the one you threw it to is probably the least open of all of them. It was just a great throw, kind of taking what you want right there. So down here, 3rd and goal, you go with Mike Wright in at quarterback, a threat to run it, going to give him a zone read. He's going to read the edge defender, so you're going to not block him, and that'll be the key to sort of his read. Motion away, he comes in, he pulls it, lead blocker, you step into the end zone. It's an excellent design, and there's several really good things about, the execution on the play. It probably starts with the left side of your offensive line. This is 67 here, so that would be, is that Bell or Lewis? Sometimes I get them mixed up. I think that's Bell, right? Regardless, so he steps in. He does let him through, but he's on him, and he's supposed to be on his outside shoulder. And then you get, a pretty good combo here from, because he's an extra offensive lineman, you get a pretty good combo from what actually are your tackle and guard here. Pretty good job. So left side of your offensive line does a nice job. Watch him. See it? So next, Dollar Bill and Nick Jones. Combo up to the linebacker. 67's down. Push him. You got him. You're in pretty good position right there. And so everything's good on the backside too, because these guys don't know if the quarterback's keeping it or if Woody Marks is getting it. They have to assume Marks is. So, that's good enough. Could be better, get your head in front, but that's good enough. Dollar Bill and Nick Jones, that's pretty good up to the linebacker. And play side, Lasoya and the other tackle on the other side are doing a really nice job. So that's all good. And if you get this block with the motion and he gets it, you'd think you'd be able to score, right? The one thing that would be an issue would be right here when Cole snapped it, the nose guard really got leverage. Got up under his pads, pushed him back. Watch Cole, he snaps it, gets knocked back, and this nose guard actually throws him and tackles Woody as if he's got the ball, see? So, let me give you an if. On this play, if this guy had held right here and stayed out and given Mike Wright the give read, so that's what he's reading. If he goes out or stays out, I'm giving to the running back. If he goes down, I'm pulling. So had he stayed out here, Mike's going to give this ball, and you got it blocked for a touchdown, except Cole kind of got bullied right here. That would be the issue. He got popped up, driven back, and the nose guard's making a play on running back. Otherwise, it'd be a walk-in touchdown. See? So it just shows you how, everybody's got to be good on the play. The deal is, though, you didn't have to worry about it because in-man line of scrimmage, who you're reading, goes sharp down inside. It's a pretty clear read from Mike Wright, the quarterback. And he held it just a second. This is good, and you got to, and the reason is the tight end is coming play side to backside. This is Ellis. He's coming backside. He got to sift through, and he's going to be the lead on the edge to get the quarterback in the end zone. And he does a nice job right here. He comes through, and right here, he's about to barrel into the guy we're reading. That's not his job. His job is to bypass the guy you're reading and go to the next level and get the next one, be the lead blocker, because you expect quarterback to take care of that one. If I'm reading him and he's far enough inside, I'm pulling, he can't get me. And that's what happens. So this is a really nice job right here. Watch Ellis bypass him at the last second. Just like that. Wright takes care of the unblock with the read, and now Ellis is in a position. Doesn't get knocked down, and he seals the edge, and you walk into the end zone. Good read, good execution. You can kind of see it from behind right here, what's going on the left side. These guys are comboing off that defensive lineman up to that linebacker. And Cole's just in a one-on-one. And after he snaps it, he sort of raises those shoulder pads right there, and the guy just gets leverage on him. Really strong move by the nose guard there. So he would have made the play had you given it, but you didn't give it. You pulled it, and it's blocked up. Really good play call. Good read by the quarterback. All right, here is the late fumble, and it's just right tackle Cam Jones just gets beat to the outside right here. Guy kind of actually, slow plays him right here. Pauses, sets him up. You see Cam kind of raise up, gets his feet close together, and so now, he's really got a speed shuffle to stay with him out here, and he doesn't really shuffle. He just kind of lunges at him. Now he beats him to the outside. Now you beat. And so is it a fumble? You saw this. The officials did the right thing. You let that play go, let it finish so that you can always come back and review it later, which is those kinds of plays, what they have to do. We've been screwed on some of those in the past. And so what it comes down to is this right here. Watch the left hand of the defender. He's going to slap Will Rogers' arm. He doesn't hit the ball, okay? And so here's the deal. He doesn't hit the ball. He hits his arm. And what you got to see if you're the official right here is you can barely see it. That's the edge of the football, and he's got it gripped. That's what it looks like. He's got it in a grip. And if you go one more frame over, does the ball begin to twist in his hand and jostle or turn before he brings it forward? I think it probably does. And they called it a fumble on the field, and this one's so close. So, again, what you're looking for is his arm moving forward the first time that this ball begins to oscillate or jostle or twist in his hand? Or is his arm still back and stationary when that ball begins to turn or twist or jostle in his hand? And I think, they kind of rule there that it must have, you can see that it's loose here. And then when his arm comes forward, that's what, spins it and shoots it forward. And we're really fortunate that Will didn't hurt his arm right here. That's a lot of times what happens. He's got his arm not coming forward here. Ball begins to twist and oscillate before the arm comes forward. So he's lost the grip on the ball and then shoots it forward. So, I think letting that one stand was probably the right call. See if that was a better angle here. Gripped. Yeah. I mean, it's really one of those like up for interpretation, but I think that's probably going to be a fumble just about every time. So then they come back and go sweep over here or something like that. Is that what it was? Sweep? Yeah, toss sweep, lead blockers, get them on the corner. A couple of missed tackles and a missed hold here allow them to score. I'll show you what I mean. They turn the turnover into a touchdown. First thing, I really like Sean Preston. I thought he had played a good second half. Safety comes, this is him right here. Safety comes flying down, sets the edge pretty good. Boom, right there. Really nice job. Next thing happens, Jet's got a shot at him. Now he's got a blocker on him, but he's trying to get over here, and he just can't get a shoulder on him. All he's able to get is a hand on him. See him right here? Not able to get his shoulder on him. Excuse me, just gets his hand on him and not able to get his head out in front. The other thing is then Banks, the safety, has a chance to come down and hit him, and he does, but he is not able to wrap him up right there. Got to wrap him up, keep your head up, somehow get a hold of his knees, ankles, get him to the ground. Now, one thing that's happening here is you got offensive lineman who's on DeCamerion Richardson, and DeCamerion's getting held pretty good. Lineman's in position, but, I mean, this is a really obvious deal here. And, you know, he's right there in the view. It's just lazy officiating when you don't see something like that on a scoring play. It's one thing when you got, you know, a lineman who's in pass pro on that arc on the outside and he's got a hold of a jersey, but this is one he can't even turn his head because of the holding to the ball carrier. So, you know, that's one you gotta call. And honestly, it's a deal where sometimes officials, they're human, they get caught just watching a football game. And so I think he's being lazy right here and doesn't see it. It's a pretty obvious hold that affected the play. You're down 10, fourth quarter, 9:19, starting to drive on 1st and 10. And this was a rough one right here for your offensive line on just a zone blocking run play on 1st and 10, where it's all penetration. And Woody has no chance at all. So you're getting about a 2-3 yard tackle for loss on just like a regular old zone play, not even a wide one. And what's hard to figure out here is, you know, on this zone deal, the back's on this side, it's coming back this way. You know, you zone it this way or inside this way. And were it a read for the quarterback, you know, he's going to be reading the edge with the option to pull, but it doesn't look like it's a read. And what happens is if you watch the defensive front, just put your eyes on that. Okay, so these are 5 linemen. Watch your defensive front. Defensive end takes a step to, he's a gap inside. Tackle, gap inside between guard and center. Backside tackle, gap inside. And outside here by the linebacker. So it's a 5-man rush, including here. And 1, 2, 3, 4 are basically unblocked. So just keep your eyes, just like if you just watch on the snap, watch these here, 4 with their hands down, and that they're basically, I mean, they step into those gaps and they're unblocked. Now I say 4 because the backside guard who's on shade nose on left guard, he actually does go one step over 2 and sort of gets blocked, but he's there. But certainly play side. And, you know, the players that line up here and here, they don't get blocked. It's not, you know, maybe it is a slant based on, maybe they're slanting right, you know, and the play's coming this way. 1, 2, 3 slant right, but he comes down inside, gets blocked really easily, and then you got this on the outside. But again, you know, it's a run play coming back here to the right, and on the snap, we got really 2 that are unblocked between center and right guard. We got 2 that just step forward. I'm in the backfield. I'm unblocked. And so you got no chance on 1st and 10. Lose yardage. That's a tough one right there. You see them talking to each other after the play, trying to figure it out. They're working through it. Really like this by Justin Robinson and Will Rogers here on 4th and 3. Got to have it down 10, right? Trying to go and score and make it a 1-score game. 4th and 3. You're not to midfield. You're on your own side, so you got to have it. They give you a 0 coverage look, which means straight up man. Fake it, but you still throw the skinny post, just one-on-one slant, find the throwing lane. That's a really fine job, quarterback and receiver right there. And, you know, with them, look, so they give you, 7 on the line of scrimmage, like 3-4, give you a 3-4 type of look, 7 on the line of scrimmage. And then, yeah, it's just straight up man-to-man on 3-on-3, 1-on-1, and that's it. Ain't nobody else left. And they're not all coming either. They're making it look like pressure, so you're reading it as blitz, right? And what they're trying to do here is make you think, I got to throw hot. You know, I'm going to throw some hots somewhere, and then you're going to throw right into them on 4th and 3. They're trying to make it a good defensive call because you see they've got 2 with their hands down, right? Everybody else, this is actually their 3rd defensive lineman. He's just standing up. And then 4 linebackers walked up, 3, 4. And on the snap, what they're doing is only the outside stand-up linebacker. This linebacker's walked up in the gap, he comes. And then the end on this side, he comes. Everybody else, the lineman with his hand down drops. This lineman with his hand down drops. These 2 linebackers run out of there. So they're only rushing 3. and trying to drop these 4 underneath to take away any quick throw in the middle versus man-to-man. So the fact that you bring it down the field, you get rid of it in time quickly, you throw it against that, you don't throw it into some hands, accurate throw, big play. And when you saw, I don't have it here, but when you saw the behind view, it's one of those where you thought, well, man, if you knew you were going to get that, you could skinny that thing up and just keep running, throw it up for a touchdown. But you'll take the first down right there. Good execution. All right, now that'll be it. I just kind of ran out of interest of doing any more. That's a bunch of plays in the game. Some other things did happen. You know, you had a deep ball or two that really should have been caught. Some guys got to adjust to the ball in the air a little better, kind of do what Tulu does, and you could have made something happen. And also, a busted route or two. Somebody didn't clear out at the end that allowed Tulu to run an out route, catch the ball for a first down on a third down there. You had to kick the early field goal. So some of those things, but it was still going to come down to getting an onside kick or not at the end, whether you needed a touchdown or a field goal. And those are just total toss-ups based on how the ball bounces. And so South Carolina outplayed State, and you put up 37 points. State's defense has got to get better. You got to figure out ways to get off the field a little bit more, and certainly have to figure out ways to be a little more competitive in the pass game, getting to opposing quarterbacks and forcing some mistakes, because that's 2 weeks in a row that opposing quarterbacks have had career days throwing a football against State's secondary. So they still got a long ways to go as a football team. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.